What we're going to talk about today is a little bit about our journey. We're going to talk about how we made the move down here. We're going to cover everything in the middle up until right now. We met in the Instagram world. Was it love at first sight? Or?
I think it was.
I think it's love at first sight.
Yeah, we just kind of vibed, and then we planned a trip for him to fly down to Texas. We met, we went to a beauty expo, hung out for a couple days, and things just kind of took off from there.
Yep. And I started trying to make my move out here. I started doing all my research, trying to figure out what I gotta do as far as my licenses, driver's license, barber's license. So that was back in 2019, I started figuring that shit out.
Yeah.
So then I flew out again. You know, we had some fun and all that good stuff. That's when I had the opportunity to open up my shop. I had the rental property. Instead of doing the long distance thing, we decided Leslie was gonna move up to New York.
I was gonna try it out for a couple weeks, see if I liked it, and then I was gonna move up so we didn't have to do any more long distance.
Right.
So, and then we find out we're having a baby.
Then we found out we were having a baby.
And that's when everything completely changed. It was not our world anymore, it was the baby's world. So the best decision was that I was just gonna move up. And because he had the shop, he had the house, it was just so much
Made more sense.
Yeah.
To just come make the move, right?
So I packed up my stuff and decided to go live in New York.
Then, since Leslie's in New York, she's pregnant, we decided that we was gonna give it a couple years, let the baby grow up, and then we were gonna make our move. We were gonna head south?
Well, you like Florida your whole life. I've lived in Texas my entire life, and I like Houston. I enjoy what the life is like, the lifestyle that you live in Houston. So when we both agreed that we both like the South, we talked about maybe Florida, maybe Houston, and we did end up taking a trip to Florida when he got certified for SMP. And I like Florida. It was very similar to Texas. Nice.
I love Florida, love the ocean.
But, it wasn't our world anymore, and it was baby's world, and it was the same thing. I didn't have any family in Florida. If I was gonna be a stay-at-home mom, it would still be no help with the baby. So we just decided that if we were gonna go south, then we were just gonna go to Houston, where I was familiar with already. Because you had been to Texas, previously.
San Antonio, Dallas, Houston. Yeah. The baby comes in February. We still had our 2-year plan in set. At this point, Leslie was hating New York. Leslie hated her life, not pregnant anymore, and the baby was here.
Yeah, I didn't like New York. I met really, really nice people. All of his friends and family had nothing to do with why I hated New York. I just didn't like the weather. I don't like the cold. I went from it being
gloomy,
super hot. It's gloomy. I didn't have any family. I didn't really have any friends. Nothing familiar. So when baby came, it really showed that I didn't like it there. That's not where I wanted to form my family, and I just wasn't happy.
Not to mention, I came with a whole bunch of baggage. Jay was a hoe out in New York.
Some exes were not happy that he was settling down. They were not happy that he was gonna be a dad. They weren't happy that he was committed. They weren't.
They still are. They still are so. They still text us from private fake numbers. We're not really gonna get into it, but to this day, since Leslie moved, we're still dealing with my baggage. Ratchet bitches.
I don't know what they're mad.
I don't know either. I never did anybody wrong, but all right, so let's keep moving.
You did. You didn't settle down with them.
Yeah, they weren't worth it. They weren't worth it. So besides the baggage, shit got a little rough after the baby.
Yeah, it was. I don't think I knew I was going through it, but I realized I was going through postpartum, which people don't realize. I think you kind of picked up on it quicker than I did. My mom didn't fly out to visit, or my parents, until the baby was 2 weeks old, but the first month, time goes really slow with a baby.
No sleep.
The first 2 weeks, it was no sleep, the typical, you're figuring out your baby's figuring you out. It really hit me once my mom left, and I was, kind of home alone for the most part. It didn't help that we were in quarantine.
I was working.
Yeah.
We didn't go into quarantine until like your parents were a week there.
Yeah. It just started hitting me really, really bad. It's hard to explain when unless you've kind of been through it. It's just like depression, but your baby needs you. So, you're a first-time mom, you're trying to figure it out, your relationship changes because now there's a baby in the middle of it, and it was just mentally, I wasn't okay.
It sucked. Trying to deal with it. I was trying to get my girl back. I'm like, I gotta do something to get her back to normal. Shit is not going right chemically. That's when we decided, all right, 2-year plan's done. We're gonna make this move happen. I knew I had to make it happen. At that point, we decided that we were gonna be here by January, the end of 2020. Yeah, the end of 2020. That's when I was like, all right, so we're gonna be out of here.
At that point, when my parents went to visit, I think my mom could tell I was kind of going through something, and they knew it was always in our plans to move. At that point, that's when COVID hit, and we got put into quarantine. It was the second week my parents were there. Barbershops got shut down. Everyone got to work. There's nothing we can do. We're simply sitting at home. My parents obviously wanted us to come down to Texas. They said, you guys can come stay with us, and have help with the baby, which was, the biggest thing that, I kind of wanted help with. So once, Jay and I talked and knew that we had, the support of my family, and we decided that we could speed up the process.
The postpartum didn't slow down, so.
That works.
Yeah. So at that point, that's when I'm just like, all right, I gotta make this. We're gonna leave. We're gonna leave. She needs her parents. I was okay with making the move right then and there. I was locked into a 3-year contract or lease agreement, and I'm not that type that's gonna leave, especially because the dude who's the landlord of the barbershop, he's my friend, so I couldn't leave him high and dry. So I talked to Dan. Dan was ready to take the shop.
And, before we made an abrupt decision, as a lot of people have said, because it did come out of nowhere, the people that needed to know about it were told about it, at the right time.
But it was fast. It wasn't we knew. We didn't know. At that point, the postpartum was so bad, I was like, let's go.
His family, the landlord, the barber, the people that needed to know were told before it was posted on Facebook. So, we always still had the best intentions, regardless of if it was the best move for our family. Jay always made sure the landlord knew what was going on. We talked to him, talked to Dan, made sure Dan was, ready for receiving a barbershop.
Quarantine was kind of like a blessing because it gave us that option to go. I didn't have people booked. I didn't have nobody weeks in advance. Nothing was holding me. Nothing was holding me there at all.
We also, when I was pregnant, Jay was so focused on getting the rental property together, but it was still a little bit hard for you because you had a full book. I was pregnant. I didn't have the energy to, be going back and forth to the rental property, and he would try to cater to me. And, so when the quarantine happened, it was like, you finally have all this time to go finally get the rental property ready for the new tenant. So that was, that's why we say the quarantine was in a way a blessing.
That's a long story short. So now here we are. I'm waiting on my license. We've been here. This is like our 4th week. So, we had that opportunity to, come lay low, get our minds right. So therefore, for those of you who are trying to move, those of you who are trying to get out, maybe find, if y'all got some family somewhere, y'all might be able to get a room for a couple months to get on your feet if you're not financially ready. You know, we were blessed to have the extra help, and you know, we don't need to rush, but you know, we were ready to come down here, we were ready to get a place, we were ready to do all that, but with the whole COVID thing, it kind of just opened up extra doors we didn't know about. That's how we were able to not come down with a U-Haul full of our stuff. We were able to we gave shit away, everything was pretty much given away.
And I think advice to anybody who's wanting to make the move, just have a plan. If one doesn't work out, have another one.
Have a bank account set up, have your money right. Don't just, I mean, you can go backpacking it. You could try that.
Not if you have a family.
But yeah, if you got a family and shit. That's our journey so far in a nutshell. And here we are, and it ain't stopping.
Yeah, we've been known for taking risks since the day we met, and hopping on flights and just kind of going for it.
We encourage y'all to get out where you are, especially if you're in New York. Get the fuck out of New York. I've had a lot of people in the DMs who are wondering how the move is going, but we just wanted to put it out there that, you know, we didn't come down and move into a house, our own house. We didn't have all that like we had planned to do in a couple years, but you know, financially we're good, we were blessed, and we're so grateful to have support. So if y'all have some kind of support that ain't in the state that you're living in, that might be down south, or that might be out west, or if you want to go up north and east, you know, reach out to people. There's options, so don't rule shit out.
If you don't have anybody and you're gonna go to a state, just kind of how we were thinking about Florida, as long as you have your money correct and you have your bank account right and you have money to be able to survive like at least a year, if you know you can't find any work, you know, you can still do it. But it's just about having that plan. You know, before we made that move, we sat down and said, how much money do we have? We counted our money, you know, and made sure that aspect is still taken care of, you know. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just having a good plan. You know, you can wing it, but
you need a couple plans, because shit changes. That's the bottom line. Plan your work and work your plan. We gotta go. We've been in here talking too long. I'll see ya. Love you.